Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sunday stream. Today is December the 27th, 2020, and I'm going to be looking at SPX, quickly glancing over at the futures chart. We opened up about an hour and a half ago, along with some names such as Tesla, Apple, CHWY, um, OSTK, PINs, PENN, and the other names that I normally look at my watch list, such as Netflix, Zoom, Roku, PTON, Square, and a bunch of others. So over here, I have the ES chart, which is the futures SPX. And as you can see here, we just opened up slightly lower um, where we left off on Friday, which was right at 37.08. I'm going to quickly switch over to the SPX chart to give you guys an idea of what areas I'm looking at heading into Monday. Not much has changed. We are closer to all-time highs, being at 37.26. Key level that I'm looking at going into Monday is 37.11, 37.12, all the way to 37.25, being all-time highs. A more conservative trader would look to see if we do break 37.25. To the downside, I'm looking at support being anywhere from 36.85 to 36.80. It is held for good support over here. As you can see, we are on the 1 hour time frame. So we did hold 36.80 for support back on the 22nd of December and the 21st. So going into Monday, I'm looking to see if these levels hold. If not, we could head lower down to 36.63 and as low as 36.25, which we hit back on December the 12th, 2020. We also hit it back here on the 11th of December. So I'll be looking at that, those levels if we were to move to the downside. Okay, so that's SPX on the 1 hour chart. Heading into the first name that I'm going to be looking at today is Apple. AAPL is the ticker name. And I'm going to switch over to the 4 hour chart to give you guys a broader out view. And as you can see here, Apple's doing pretty good for itself. It has moved up and is close to touching to all-time highs, which is at 138.55, which we hit back on September the 2nd, 2020. Key level that I'm looking at heading into Monday, we closed at 132, 133, and 135 is overhead resistance. Above that, I'm looking at 138, which is pretty much all-time highs. Now, if you are a more conservative trader, look for 138 to break for targets of 145 I've drawn out here, and 150 are my targets going into next week. I'm just going to draw a level of resistance. Now, obviously, the stock can move higher than that, so I will have 160 as a very bullish target. So heading into Monday, these levels of 133 and 135 are key. If those were to be broken, I'm looking at a first take profit target of 138. If you're a more conservative trader, you're looking for 138 to break. And as I mentioned, 145 and 150 are my bullish targets heading into Monday, Tuesday, and pretty much the whole week. There has been some bullish news on Apple with regards to rumors about Apple starting their own car company, electric car company, along with the holiday sales and their headset being a success. So look for Apple to push higher heading into the week. We are in an uptrend. So as they say, the trend is your friend. Heading over to the 1 day chart to give you guys a better outlook. As you can see, this chart is pretty bullish. It's inevitable almost to see that we all are going to be hitting all-time highs at 138. To the downside, I'm going to switch over to the 4 hour chart here real quick. And we have support at 129. As you can see here, it held as resistance back on the 16th and the 15th of December. If 129 were to break, I'm looking at support at 127.50. If that breaks, that could be your second confirmation to enter a short trade, which would give you a take profit target of 124.50 all the way down also at 123. That's if you were to see weakness. As you can see, these are key levels. 124.5 is key. We got bought back up here. Buyers pushed up back to 132. Also, we wicked down to 123. As you can see here, it was resistance and a breakout area. So these levels of 125.5 and 123 are key levels to look for if we do see a pullback on Apple. Okay, that is Apple on the 4-hour time frame. Another name I'm going to be looking at is NVDA. Not much happening on NVDA, so I'm not going to spend much time here. Pretty much the same story on NVDA. We've been stuck into this channel of 543, 544, all the way to down to 517. Heading into next week, I'm still going to be looking at that 543, 547 level to break. And it's pretty much a no trade zone until those two levels break. To the downside, I can see us going as low as 510. We did have support here back on December the 10th at the 510 level, and we are in a sort of a downtrend, as you can see. I'm going to switch over to the 1-day chart for a clear view. We are stuck into this channel here, and unless you see a break above that 543, 547 level and a break below 500, we're pretty much in a small channel and we're in a tightening channel. So look for those two levels to break: 500 to the downside, 543, 547 to the upside. Okay, and that is NVDA on the 4-hour time frame. And keep those levels in mind going into next week. The next name that I'm going to be looking at, one of my personal favorites, again, Tesla, TSLA ticker. Here is Tesla on the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, we are on an uptrend, and Tesla continued to push back. It bounced lower, it headed lower back from its all-time high at 695, pushing as low as 620. We did move up on Friday, closing at 660. Heading into Monday, I'm looking at 665 to the upside. However, if you're more of a conservative trader, I would look for the 680 to break. If you are more of a riskier trader, 665 for a play up to 680 would make a great scalp trade. Above 680, I'll be looking at all-time highs at 695. If 695 were to break, I have levels here set at 700, 710, 720, and 730 as bullish targets for Tesla. Towards the downside, I'm looking at the break of 650, a shorting opportunity to 640, 630, and 620 are high likely targets to capitalize on a short opportunity. As you can see here, we hit 620, bounced off it on the 22nd of December. Again, pushed as low as 620, bounced off it on the 23rd of December. And we're creating a staircase pattern here, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, looking for something similar, but 665 would be the first key indicator to break, and 680 would be the next one. Okay, so that is Tesla on the 4-hour time frame. Next name of interest for me is Zoom, ZM. ZM did trend lower on Friday. We hit as low as 376. Going into Monday, I'm looking at 374 as my first confirmation to break. My next one would be the 365, 366 level for a potential push all the way to the 341, 342 level for a great shorting opportunity. However, be cautious that the 374 level has held for good support. On Friday, also right here, we got a wick down on the 14th of December. We also hit it back here on the 16th of November and once more on the 10th of November. So look for a bounce at the 374 level. If 374 were to break, that would be your first confirmation. I wouldn't enter right away on a short position. I would look for the 366 level to break, and that would give me a beautiful shorting opportunity at the 342, 343 level. To the upside, I would look for the 390 level to break for a potential scalp to 400. However, if you're more of a conservative swing trader, I would say, I would look for the 415, 425 levels to break for a potential push to 435 and 442. Now, this is one of the stay-at-home stocks that has been thriving during the pandemic. However, things are moving ahead with the whole vaccine news. So stocks like this can pull back significantly. So keep that in mind. And as you can see from all-time highs on the one-day chart, which was 588, we have been creating lower lows, trending lower. So keep that in mind, guys, going into next week. Okay, so that is Zoom on the 4-hour time frame. Another name I'm going to be looking at is PTON, PTON, Peloton. Another stay-at-home stock. However, this one has been pushing higher to all-time highs, and we did close at 162.5. This is on the daily. I will be switching over to the 4-hour time frame and pointing out some levels that I'm looking at for next week, which are the 168, which is all-time highs, right? 168 to break. Let me just draw a line right here of resistance. So 167.5. Next key level for confirmation would be the 170. Stocks like to move in round numbers, so that's the key for that. Another level that I'm going to be looking at, another key level would be the 180 mark. So 180 would be a nice take profit area. However, we could see a stop at the 175. So going into Monday, I'm looking at the break of 168 as my first confirmation. 170 would be a good entry. However, I would not enter at 170. I would look to see if we do break over 170 and retest that 170 for an up move and an entry at that level. And 175 and 180 are my take profit targets. Now to the downside, we do have support at 160, 158, down to this wick at 154 and 150. I personally would be looking at the break of 154 as my first confirmation. My next confirmation would be the break of 150 for a take profit at the 146 and 142 level. We are a little overextended here, so be cautious. Stocks like this do tend to pull back, and if restrictions are being lifted with the whole COVID thing and the vaccine news, stocks like the stay-at-home stocks like Peloton will pull back. However, Peloton also had its stock move up based on its acquisition of Precor, which is another exercise machinery, I guess you can call it that. So that was one of the catalysts for it to move higher. So Peloton is one of the stocks I'm going to be looking at heading into next week. As it has been pretty bullish, as you can see from this chart, almost parabolic in its up move last week. It has also created a bull flag. As you can see, this is the flagpole, and this is the flag itself. So another up move is highly likely. So that is Peloton on the 4-hour time frame. Another name that I'm going to be looking at is BABA, BABA. some bearish news on BABA with rumors of delisting Chinese stocks. So we did push lower on Friday. It wasn't a secret that many people were shorting BABA. So I would look to see if there's any oversold bounces at the 212 level, 210 level. We did close at 222. So if we do see some sort of trend reversal, I would look at the 232 to break for a take profit at 242, 246 level. If you are a more conservative trader and you're looking for a true trend change, I'll be looking at the 268, 272, and 280 levels for the trend change. But as for right now, if 211, 212 were to break, I'm looking at 200 and 190 to break. I'm going to switch over to the one-day chart just to get a broader outlook here. So we did leave off at 222. We bounced off at 212. As you can see, it held here as support on November the 6th and the 29th. Sorry, that's June the 11th and June the 26th. So we haven't seen these levels in quite a while. So we did bounce off. If we do move higher, 232 is your bet. If we do move lower, I'm looking at 190 and 200. Yeah, 200 has key levels where you can short. So 212 at a break, 200 for a good shorting opportunity. I would double down if the volume is strong for a final take profit at 190. And that is one of the names I'm going to be looking at heading into Monday to see if there's continued weakness or if that 212 level actually did hold up and confirm that we are moving higher. So that is BABA on the 4-hour and the 1-day time frame. Another name I would like to touch upon is BA, which is Boeing. Here is Boeing on the 4-hour time frame. Boeing, we did have a move all the way to 245, and since then we have pushed down. However, we did find support at 206, a large bounce, and it pushed us back to the 220 level. We closed on weakness on Thursday and Friday on Boeing. So I would like to see if we continue pushing down to retest that 212, that 210 and 206 level. By the looks of this chart, I'm looking at the break of 216 to break right here. And if 216 were to break, I'm looking at a shorting opportunity to 210 and 206. However, if you're a bull, I'm looking at the 220 level to break. If you're more of a safer trader, I would bank on the 226 level to break for a potential take profit to the upside at 234 and 237. Okay, so that is Boeing on the 4-hour time frame. Another name I'm going to be looking at that has held pretty well, which is NIO, N-I-O. NIO has held its own the past few weeks. We are in a tightening range here, which has consisted of the 49 to 45 level. Going into Monday, I'm looking to see if 45 holds. If not, a potential shorting opportunity to 43, 40, and if 40 were to break, I'm looking at 38. However, by the past few weeks, we've noticed that 43 and 40 have been strong areas of support. So if we were to break down, I would look to see if 40 were to hold to see a bounce from there. Now to the upside, I would like to see 49 break. However, 51 would be a more attractive entry point for a potential take profit at the 54 level on NIO. So that is one name I'm also going to be looking at heading into next week. Some other names I'm going to be looking at, consisting at our low cap stock watch list. Now, guys, I just want to say that we do have our Discord trading group. So head over to thewealthymentor.net and check out our services. We do offer monthly memberships, and it's a great investment into your trading career. You get to learn to see where our entries and exits are, along with take profit zones. We also have day trading watch lists along with swing trading watch lists. We also provide you with economic data as it comes in, market analysis, upgrades on analysts on certain stocks every single day. It's a highly active community and the commentary is great. Be sure to check that out. Head over to thewealthymentor.net and see what we offer. Also, don't forget to like this video and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We come out with videos every single week. So I just wanted to point that out before I move along. So moving along now, I'm going to be looking at JMIA, another name on our low cap watch list, which is heading to all-time highs. JMIA is one of those names that did hit all-time highs last year, being back on April the 15th, 2019, moving as low as $2 during the pandemic, and now testing all-time highs, which is at $50. We did close Friday's session at 43.5. I'm going to switch over here to the 4-hour time frame to give you guys a better look. As you can see, the trend is up on JMIA, and going into Monday, I'm looking at the 43.50 and $40 levels to the downside for a potential bounce. If $40 were to break, an entry at 40 down to 37 for a take profit target is highly likely. If we are to move to the upside, I'm personally looking at 48.50 and $50 as my next confirmation to enter a long position. All-time highs is at 50, so a more conservative safe trader would be to enter above 50. Some key levels that I'm going to be looking at on JMIA would be 54, okay, 60, and 65. These are areas I'm looking at heading into next week. Stocks do like to move in round numbers, so 50 would be the first, 54, a nice round number, 60, the ultimate take profit target. Okay, so those are some levels that I'm looking at to the upside: 54, 60, and a extremely bullish target would be 65. However, you guys do got to know that JMIA does move in large amounts. This stock does push up 20-30% in one day. It has many times, so, and it's very bullish. Also, it has trapped many short sellers, which this stock has, been shorted many times and held down. So a short squeeze is very likely to push the stock up there at the 50 plus level. Okay, to the downside, like I said, a break of 40, a shorting opportunity to 37. If 37 were to break, you could potentially see this thing back to 28, 50, $30. Okay, so that is JMIA on the 1 day and the 4-hour time frame. Another name I want to look at is PINS, Pinterest. Okay, Pinterest is also heading to all-time highs. As you can see here on the daily chart, 72, 73 has been a level of resistance. We did wick up all the way to 75.5. I'm going to switch over to here to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so heading into Monday, I'm going to be looking at $73 as a potential entry. My first take profit here is at $76. This is one of the names that we do have on our swing trading watch list. So the targets are going to be a little larger compared to our daily day trading watch list. Okay. So 76 would be a potential first target. Another one would be $80 as the next target. To the downside, below 68.50, we've had good support here back on the 21st of December. We've also had support here back on the 10th of December. So a break of 68, a potential shorting opportunity down to 66. Sorry, let me just draw a level of resistance here. A potential shorting opportunity down to 66 is highly possible. Right here, right? And 64, as we have held these levels for support back on November the 30th and December the 10th. Okay, so that is pins on the 4-hour time frame. Keep in mind, guys, this is a swing trading name, so I wouldn't necessarily say 66 would be the main target. However, if you do want to use it as a day trader, 66 is one of those targets. A long-term target would be the 64, canceling out the 66. Okay. Another name that has been bullish on our swing trading watch list is PENN, PENN, ticker, PENN National Gaming. Gaming has done really well during this pandemic, and it is on the uprise. As you can see from this 4-hour chart, we are in a bull trend, and we are at all-time highs. We closed PENN at 45.5. Heading into Monday, I'm looking at the $100 mark to break for a potential push to 105, 110 levels. To the downside, I could potentially see a pullback on the break of 90 down to the 86 level and 82 level, 81 level as potential support. We did have 81 resistance here back on December the 9th. So that is a key level for me if we were to get a pullback. I would look to see if 81 holds for potential push higher to retest where we dropped down from, which is the 94.50. So that's just one scenario. Okay, so that is PENN on the 4-hour time frame. Another name that I'm really interested in and has done amazing, which is CHWY, ticker name CHWY. Here is CHWY on the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, CHWY hit a high of 110, and we did close at 104 on Friday. I'm looking at the 108, 110 level to break for potential entry above those levels. To the downside, I'm looking at the 102, 103 level to break for a potential push down to 98, which did hold for support on the 21st and was the breakout point on the 17th of December. So 98 is a point of interest for me on the break of 103. If that were to break, a potential shorting opportunity down to 94 and $90 are another level of interest. Above 110, I'm looking at 115 for first take profit and 120 as the next take profit on CHWY. So keep CHWY in mind as it is near all-time highs. Another name I'm going to be looking at is BLNK. BLNK, just like CHWY, has done really well. As you can see here on the 4-hour time frame, it has pushed up higher to all-time highs and as high as $54. I will be drawing a level of resistance at 54. Going into Monday, I'm looking at the break of 50 for a potential take profit of 54, all-time highs. my next take profit area would be the $60 mark, a nice round number. 65 and 70 would be my next take profit targets. So going into next week, I'm looking at a break at 54 for a potential profit at 60, 65, and 70. Now to the downside, we do have support at 45. If 45 were to break, a potential shorting opportunity to $4, right? Which was the breakout point here. As you can see, there was a large candle. Volume also confirmed this push. So $40 is a level of interest for me. If $40 cannot hold, I'm looking at 35, which we did see some price action here back on the 21st of December. So 35 would be my next area on the break of 40, potential short. Another area I'm looking at is the $30 mark, which is also another breakout point, and it has held for resistance back on the 8th of December. So that is BLNK, blink charging on the 4-hour time frame. So that's pretty much it, what I'm going to be looking at heading into next week. Keeping in mind, guys, that volume does tend to dry up during the holiday season. Also, keep in mind that many places currently have lockdown restrictions and have tightened up their restrictions during the holidays. A lot of places where they do have Boxing Day and specials during the Christmas hours, stores are on lockdown, and it's just not as busy. So also keep in mind the stock market does tend to dry up on volume during those days. So just make sure you are sizing down and being cautious with your entries and exits, and not overly doing it. So heading into tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you guys all and giving you my analysis heading into tomorrow. Again, if you haven't joined Wealthy Mentor Trading, head over to wealthymentor.net. We have an amazing Discord group, and we have successful members that have reported great profits, and you learn a lot. You understand how charting works and make an investment into your future. Okay? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.